Well, here we go again. Hi, hello, ni hao. I'm Maragar Jude and welcome back to another video. So today, on Twitter and on the news recently, there was a protest or a riot going on in Merseyside, UK, and this had to do with immigrants again. Y'all never learn, do you? So what happened was that there was a clip that came out of a immigrant, of an asylum seeker, hitting on a 15-year-old, and I can show you the clip.
How old are you?
25.
25. I'm only 15.
Okay, good.
That's not good.
I want your Facebook.
No, sorry.
What's up?
You don't do this in this country. It's you go to jail if you do this.
Please, I want.
No, you're alright. No. I'm 15. No, that's weird.
Now, actually, I want to correct what I said here. We don't have any evidence that this was an asylum seeker or an immigrant. We don't know who this person is. But all we know for a fact is that he's not from here. He's not from here. You can tell by the accent that he's not from here. He's not speaking in a typical English accent or any regional accent of the UK. He's an immigrant or an asylum seeker, but we just don't know which one is it. Now, the people at Merseyside decided to hold a protest outside Sweet Hotel in Knowsley, which housed a bunch of asylum seekers, and they basically decided to protest, these refugees from the refugees. These protesters who were anti-immigration, or were more like wanted to control immigration, whatever lah. But they were protesting against the asylum seekers. After that, a counter protest which held up signs of refugees welcome and stop fascism, and the typical lefty thing to do. We don't know what happened, but it eventually spiraled into chaos with things being burnt, and it became quite violent to the point where riot police had to be involved. If you can see in these photos here, you can see that there were things that were set on fire. A police car was even set on fire as well, and 3 people got arrested. What is my 2 cents on this? I do not agree with the actions of the protesters. I absolutely do not agree with this. This is not how you get your message across. You do not burn things down. You don't turn to this kind of barbarity, because if that's the case, you're no better than the immigrants who come to Europe. Now, is it to say that immigrants are inherently bad and we should not stop them from coming in here? Not really, because the thing is that just because one immigrant hits on a 15-year-old girl doesn't mean that you should label all immigrants bad. Now, the protesters have basically said that this is not a one-time thing. This has been happening for a very long time, where a bunch of asylum seekers were being very predatory towards 15-year-old girls. But however, I can't really verify that. But other than that, right, it kind of makes sense that you shouldn't be allowing immigrants who hold different values from yours in the country. If they believe that hitting on a 15-year-old is okay, and this is a widespread issue among a certain type of immigrants who come from a certain type of land, I'm not gonna say where, but you know where, then of course it is your duty as a parent to keep these people away from your girls. And not only that, right, there is a whole bunch of other problems when it comes to asylum seekers, like how the government prioritizes asylum seekers over actual citizens, which, let's face it, I feel you too. In Singapore, it's also happening as well. Now, the newspapers are trying to label this as far-right protesters. Not really. I don't think they're far right. I think they just did it badly. I mean, I would see why they would be labeled far right, because they're burning things down. I mean, we don't really know what happened, but we don't know which member did it. We don't know whether it was the members of the protesters who were protesting the asylum seekers, or counter protesters who wanted the asylum seekers to come here, who set these things on fire. We don't know, but I would see why they would label them as far right, because I feel like this is these are tactics from the far right. All in all, do I agree with the protesters' intentions? Yes, they want to limit the amount of asylum seekers who come here. But do I agree with how they went about it by burning things down? No, you don't resort to barbary and savageness. You're no better than asylum seekers if you do that. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's going to be a very short video. I just wanted to report on the recent news that was happening here. UK has a lot of problems, but so does Singapore. I've been your host, Margar Geode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!